Hi there, it's Lori, Positive Thanks Living. Welcome. In this video, I'm going to be making a small journal. It's in the DearJulieJulie February Mini Challenge. These are the items that have to be in it according to the rules. And let me show you what I'm including. We'll start there and then we'll carry on in different parts. But this video is going to have a finished journal at the end. Okay, so my cover is going to be this. And these scrapbook papers come from this paper pad. So it's okay. Julie said we can do a paper pad or a kit. So I have this paper pad in my craft room closet, and it has all kinds of things. I love books. I love to read. So when I bought this, it was kind of an impulse buy last year, but I had a gift card someone gave me and I enjoyed myself. This is the first time I'm using it, and I pulled out some of the pages and I'm going to show you which ones. Here are the 5+ folded pages. I cut them from 12 by 12 to 6 by 8 and folded them, as you can see. My extra here is a coloring page from a coloring book. Conveniently, it's about, the coloring book is about books. So you can see the author, the creator of this. Her name is Elyse Burns. I'll link below to where you can find this coloring book. But she has a whole bunch of things. This is the artist, and she has a YouTube channel. So it's more about her business of making coloring books, but also all kinds of other things. I've been to her store in Durham. But you can see some of the coloring pages. I haven't done any yet, so I'm going to put one in here, this book. I'll show you the pages. Book Lover, and this one. I'm deliberately not showing you the inside because I have something special that I did to the inside. Obviously, the inside of this scrapbook, the opposite sides of this scrapbook pages, they are white. And I didn't want them to be white. I wanted them to be colored. So I pulled out my watercolor, and in a few seconds, I'm going to show you how I watercolored these. But you get the idea when you just sort of look at them, literally striping them. And why? Well, I'm going to make them look like they are books on a shelf with varying success. I've been practicing. It's not wonderful yet, but it's not horrible. So this one is the inside page. I'm going to glue this down so it'll be a pocket here. We have our 5+ scrapbook pages, and then this coloring page. I'm going to cut it out. I won't make you watch me cut it out. But you see how it came, how it started. I'm going to decide exactly where I'm putting that. And the squirrel's, the little bit of the squirrel's tail hangs out, but that's okay. I'm not upset about that. The cover is this, and because this was a 12 by 12, the top was this same border, and I'm going to either cut it out here or leave it as a tuck. I'm not sure. You'll find out in a few minutes. So as you saw, there are colors on the back side of the papers, and I just wanted to quick show you how I did it. I am not a watercolorist. I'm not an artist. I do have paint and I like to paint. So these are the Gonzai, Tombi, Kuretake. They're watercolor, but not traditional watercolor colors. They're more opaque as opposed to completely transparent. And to pretend that there are books. What I have done, and in very amateurish, not totally successful ways, I just take my brush, and you see it's a square brush, and what I'm trying to do is pretend that these are books on a shelf. As I use up the color, you can see that I can take some of it off and place it somewhere else. And these are forgiving, because remember, I showed you how I was planning on pretending it's books. It looks like this. I just use a fine liner and pretend it's a book. Well, I'll be doing that with these lines. Probably not the whole, not the entire sheets, all of the sheets. I'll probably do some, as much as my attention span can handle. Do you ever do watercolor or paint at all? I've discovered a joy in painting in a way that I never thought I would. I always thought, oh, do watercolor, you have to be good at it, or you have to practice, or it's got to look like something. Well, guess what? We junk journalers can make up our own things and find our own joy in what we're doing. This is my favorite color. It's called bluish gray. When I did the Christmas painting for the journal that I made for Junk Journal January, I used so much of this color to the point where I'm going to order more because I don't want to run out. It's just a favorite color. And is this going to match perfectly? Absolutely not. Nor do I expect it to. When I say match, I mean like the colors that are on the printed thing. But it's close enough not to bother me too much. And when I get to the point where I want to have a smaller line, I have another, oh, this is not a straight one. This is the straight one. I find a smaller brush, obviously. Yeah. And it's fun. So this gives you the idea of how I'm decorating the opposite side of the scrapbook paper, because it's white, as scrapbook paper often is white. And then when it's dry, I can't do this one yet because it's not dry. When it's dry, I take a fine liner here, and this was 0.5, and I just pretend it's a book. And if it's not perfect, then I do a few extra lines. Let's do one here. And is this realistic? No, but well, see, you notice how they just have the lines, and sometimes they have a diamond shape. Sometimes they have a circle. Sometimes they have a band. So I can go through here and just play with it and use this as my example. Flowers, I could put on flowers. I can put on a moon. You get the idea. Okay, so that's how the backs of the scrapbook paper has been decorated. DearJulieJulie digitals. So she has a digital, in particular this one here, that matches beautifully with the colors in this scrapbook. So I'm going to be using the Roses digitals. and some from the rag quilt, which I'm doing, I'm working with on the altered little golden journal book. So those, the DearJulieJulie digitals, and there's more, but I've cut them up already, so you don't have to watch me cut. There's got to be a pocket, a tuck, a belly band, a border tuck. There has to be a round, square, and rectangle tag. We have to add a napkin, dictionary. So, dictionary pages. Stickers. I pulled out a bunch of stickers. I don't have that many stickers. I'm not usually a sticker kind of person, but I happen to have some stickers that I can use. And yeah, I'm gonna add the concept of tea. I've been practicing how to make a cup, like draw a cup. So we'll see whether I can make that in there. Letters. I have to find, oh no, I have my idea for letters. I'm a practicing script writer, like free hand. It's not calligraphy, it's brush stroke. I've been practicing and practicing and practicing. So I have all my practicing pages, and I'm going to include them in a little bit of it. I'll tear them up and put them in the journal. So that's part of it. Numbers. I don't have a calendar, like a small calendar, but I do have numbers, like with a stamp. So that's probably going to be my numbers. And doily. So I need to go away and find a doily and find a napkin. I'll be right back. Okay, doilies. Here's some doilies. This is Easter egg dye here, and 2 white ones. So probably just one of them. And I have some napkins. Some have roses on. Remember, this is the rose images from DearJulieJulie. Probably not this one because it's not roses. These are stylized roses. So it'll be this one, and possibly this gingham. Let me just open it up quick. I think I like this the best. The colors go well, I think. And that washi tape I have. So it would be cool to, I think what I'm going to do is make up this. So I'll give it away to somebody, but also have the option of another set of papers that are already prepared to put together, so that if I feel like making a gift really quickly in the space of an afternoon or an evening, then that's an option. Yep, I think I'm going to use this. Made up in my mind. All right, we have a doily. We have a napkin. Put this one away for some other project. We'll need a round tag, a square tag, and a rectangle tag. I think I have everything else. Okay, let's start. Okay, first the cover. What am I going to do? One idea is to leave it alone, exactly it is. One idea is just to cut out the top edge and glue it on. The other idea is to put it like this so it can be a tuck underneath. Like this. So it's something you pull out. Thoughts? I think I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to cut just the top edge here. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac for this project, not because I think it's the best glue, but because my my art glitter glue bottles are not full, and I would have to fill them, and I don't want to take the time. So here is a case of being lazy, where laziness comes in. But that's okay, right? We can always justify not doing something. I have 4 small bottles here in front of me of the art glitter glue where it's supposed to go in. And it probably wouldn't take that long. And yet, I'm not going to do it. Do you ever procrastinate from doing something you know that you should be doing? I hope I'm not the only one. I really do. We have the cover. In this journal, I'm going to round the corners. Yes, I am. I like rounded corners. In the one that I'm working on with DearJulieJulie's digitals and the altered book, I haven't been doing the rounded corners, and I wish I had started, but I didn't, and that's okay. I've decided that I really like rounded corners. So there's the cover, and the next one here, I'm going to just do the corners. Tell you what, I'll do the rest of them and I'll be right back, okay? Here we go. I even cut out the coloring page. And the pages are rounded. And I'm going to put the coloring page here. You can see how it fits in. Is that cute? I think it's cute. His tail is sticking out, but we'll find other things to stick out so it's not as noticeable. We have pages, and the middle is going to be a pocket all the way across. Let's put on some glue to attach the pocket. Now these scrapbook papers are very thick in comparison to paper. So would I have preferred paper? Yes. But it's okay for just a few pages to have a more strong cardstock. Especially if it's thrown around in someone's purse or, you know, take it to book club or whatever. It can handle the wear and tear because it is cardstock. I'm going to show you the parts that I cut out of the scrapbook. And this is going to have to be trimmed, but I'm going to wait a little bit. Apparently, I'm not waiting a little bit. I think I might trim just to give this a better fit. A little V. Very carefully. There we go. And it's going to fit more easier. It'll fit well in comparison to not trimming it. We have the inside. All right. The pages are ready. Let's make sure that they are facing correctly because this is directional. Yep, this is the right direction. And here, and here, and here. Good. Let's put on some clamps. And then let's sew it. so that it is a journal, a book. Am I doing this quickly? Yes. Is that a good idea? Probably not. But as we all know, our junk journaling, some days are painfully, the time it takes is painful, and other times we just soldier through and make it work. These little pink clips you see here, if you're in the United States, you may be able to get them. I bought them at Dollar Tree. We can call it the $2 tree at this point, but yeah. I like them a lot. Have you made a fully cardstock kind of journal before? I wish I could yell out to you, give me some advice, tell me what to do or not to do. So this is a little device that my grandson, who got a 3D printer from his uncle is bought himself a new one and gave the old one. He did this for me. So I am the blessed recipient of an easier source of putting in holes. Find my awl, and I've marked the point where I want to go through. And this may look easy, and it may end up not being easy. So we'll find out. We have 3 holes. That's a good thing. Whether they came out the right spot, I don't know. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, let us find which waxed linen to use. Thoughts? Again, I wish I could hear you. Well, white would seem a bit too stark, correct? How about this? This is almost gone. Why not finish it? 1, 2, and I probably only need 2.5, but I'm going to do almost 3. And we're going to find a needle that'll work, hopefully. And if it works well, I'll keep this part in the video. And if I struggle, I won't. So we'll find out, both of us, whether this is going to be in the video or not. Do I want the strings on the outside or on the inside? Probably on the inside. Okay, here is the middle hole. Ta-da! It came through. How exciting. Now, let's tie this off, because I've had experience, most recently doing something with another of the people that I craft in person with. Hi, Wendy. That she was doing her first sewing in her first spine, and I was sitting beside her and just sort of talking her through the process. And when I went to help tighten the strings, of course, you know what happened, right? It came through. It pulled all the way through. Yeah, so I redid it for her because I felt so badly. I'm getting on my trolley my pliers. And hopefully will not poke myself with the problem is the awl made a beautiful hole, but I didn't make it a very large hole. I find I don't want to make really large holes because then the pages, they slip more likely. But sometimes I don't make large enough holes. And down through, there we go. No problem because the hole is so much larger. Yeah. Apparently I'm going to keep this in the video. So far, anyhow. And then through here. This is called a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And it's a very simple stitch. You just need to practice doing it, that's all. And when I haven't done it for a while, I feel as though I'm a newbie at all this, the same as anybody else. So my advice for becoming proficient at this 3-hole pamphlet stitch is just to do it often. What I'm trying to do is go through exactly the same hole as the first one without splitting the twine, is it? Waxed linen thread, that's the name of it. Yep, there we are. And the purpose is it will be more difficult to, I'm removing this so that I can release the thread. The purpose is that you can tighten it easier when it's not split. It's almost impossible if you've split this middle hole to tighten it. Now, it's completely possible to redo this, pull the strings out and start completely over with the holes that you have. What I do is I try and pull on here to see if, is this truly tight enough? And I go through once, I tie once, I go the opposite direction twice, and then the third time. There is no particular reason 3 times other than I feel more secure with 3. I think I'm going to put beads, or at least maybe a little cutout book shape on the ends of these strings. All right, let me clean up and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Here it is. It's sewn in. And we have ourselves a small journal. We have the cover, we have a paper pad, 5 pages, plus something extra. I have the DearJulieJulie digitals available and waiting to put in. I've cut them up. I have, I haven't created the pocket yet. You and I are going to do it together. A tuck, a belly band, and a border tuck. We're going to make a round, square, and rectangle tag. We're going to add the napkin. We're going to add to the dictionary pages, which I've painted, and stickers, the letters. I'm going to stamp some, no, I'm not. What did I say I was doing for letters again? Ah, yes, the brush script that I was practicing doing. Let's just leave it out so I remember what I'm doing for letters. What does this say? Zippy. I was practicing Z. This one is give. That one I was practicing the tails. I am not a proficient brush letterer, but I do have fun. Same as the painting. Apparently I am a person that does a lot of things and not all of them completely well. Numbers, we will stamp numbers. and put in a doily. Okay, let us commence. My idea is just to take one word of each and stick it on somewhere. Let's look at the DearJulieJulie digitals that I printed and cut out because we wanted to be ahead of the game, or at least I hoped I could be. Here they are. This is from Rag Quilt. I'll link below. And then the roses, which are around here somewhere. There they are. There's just a few because I wanted the ones that had that purpley hue. Let's find something that we can put in as a pocket. Here. How about here? Just put a pocket in, and then I can decorate it with something else. So we'll have one pocket for a tag. And this one like this. It is the most simple pocket I make. I made a bunch of more complicated pockets in the Altered Little Golden Book, 10 of them to be precise. Lisa at Maple Studios, I don't know, she demonstrated how to make all kinds of more complicated pockets. But this is supposed to be a quick and simple journal, so we're going to have quick and simple pockets. Let's find something to put. You know what? Should we put some of the roses on here? Just a little bit, and I'll show you how I do that. I hope you can hear me. Yes, this is still my beautiful new, hopefully will work, microphone hasn't arrived yet. So I'm still using the microphone that's on my phone as I film with my phone. So I just put my brush in the water, and the water helps create a easy tear on the napkin. Don't worry, I have more of these napkins, so I can keep going as long as I need to. I have a whole set of these napkins. I like napkins. If I spend money somewhere, it'll be on a napkin, because the joy of putting out pretty napkins when I have people for an event is just something really special to me. And I can use it in junk journaling, just like this. Let's put it here. I'm going to take the bottom off, make the ends ragged. Edges. Ragged. There. Let's put it on like this. All right. Glue stick. And it'll be slightly larger than the pocket, but it'll be fine. And if I'm gluing a little bit outside of the area, the glue will dry and won't cause a problem once it's dry. Okay. on the right spot. Checking the list twice and thrice. We have the cover, we have the paper, we have the Dear Julie Julie, we have a pocket, we have napkin. So far. Okay. Moving along. Now I'm going to show you some of the, well, let's decide where to put the, should I use a green hue? Yes, let's do that. Where shall we put the doily? On the other side of here that it shows through? Is that pretty? Or through here, on here. How about over the edge? Two sides, like so. Let's see if it will work better somewhere else. The dark, I wonder. Maybe. How about that? I like that. The contrast is nice. Thoughts? Sure. Let's do it that way. A little bit of glue stick. Decorating the edge of the page with a doily. Now, I don't think a doily was actually on the list originally, but Julie from DearJulieJulie, she used a doily, and I thought, yes, I have some. And that's what this year, and particularly this month, is all about. Using what I have. Stop being so precious with my items. Make them a part of everything. Just use them without, yep, let's put zippy on there. Use what I have in my craft room with abandon. We now have letters. Ta-da. And we have a doily. Ta-da. See, when you have in your mind already what the options are, then it's quick to make a journal. I'm looking for another word to put on this side. What else do we have? Thankful. I name my channel and the website where I write and everything. The name is Positive Thanks Living, because that's the way I want to live. I want to live with optimism and with gratitude. So the word thankful is particularly appropriate. For me, anyhow. Yeah. I think sometimes the name Positive Thanks Living confuses people because they think it's usually Thanksgiving, but I'm saying living because that's how I would like to live, is with gratitude and optimism. All right, next. Where am I? Dictionary. How do we put the dictionary? So I'm thinking I'm going to do a border tuck with the dictionary with a digital. So this is a digital from DearJulieJulie. That's the name of her channel. Her name is Julie. Let's do this. Border tuck. I presume this is what it means, a border tuck. And I'm going to tear this. And here. and glue this on like so. I might glue it on from the top to the bottom, and the tuck is just going to be, what do you think? I don't think so. Like so, maybe? Or should it be attached to the card? I think I like it at the same length. All right. Let's put some Fabri-Tac on. What's your favorite glue? As you can see, I use Fabri-Tac. Oops. I use Art Glitter Glue. And I use glue stick. Do you have a favorite, or are you just sort of like me, you use whatever's at hand that will work? Let's do this with here and here. I like the length of time it takes for Fabri-Tac to dry, yeah, I suppose, adhere. I'm just going to clean this off. I do not like how gloopy it is. I have wiggle room with Fabri-Tac. That's what I wanted to highlight. It's not, it gives you a length of time to reposition what you're gluing on. I like Art Glitter Glue because it holds really, really quickly. Sometimes too quickly. But you see the options are there. Okay, there is our side tuck. And I have items from the scrapbook that I've cut out to save us time here. See, this is a little card to be read. You can put it in there. What color would look best? Made one into a booklet. Green. Let's try the green. There. Just like that, side tuck. Let us mark that off. Where is the marker? There it is. We have a border tuck. That's what we're calling it. All right. Done. Border tuck with something to tuck it in. Let us quickly make a little rounded corners. I love this punch because it gives you the choice of smallest, medium, and large. So it's useful no matter what you're doing. All right, we have the doily. We have words. This is the middle, it's the pocket. Well, I suppose we already had a pocket by doing this. I wonder whether this should be glued down. I don't know. At this point in time, I'm going to leave it because technically it's only held by one of the strings from the middle. Okay, what's next? We need a tuck and a belly band. Sometimes the tuck is up here and I do that I did that at some point. Let's see, these are some that I've cut. Isn't this cute? How about here? The book was better. Do you ever say that when you watch a movie and you say to yourself, wow, the book was better? I like this. Oh, it goes like this, doesn't it? So that can be a tuck up there. Let's round the corners, and I'm going to round these significant. Maybe we should put our numbers on this. What do you think? Let's put some numbers on. Hang on, I'll be right back. I have to get some ink. All right, here are the numbers. The obvious one is to do 2026. Shall we do that? 20 and then 26. Not very bright, is it? 20, nope. Where's the 6? There it is. But it still is there. You can tell I haven't used this in a while. I can't do it again. Over top, I'm talking about. I will never match, sadly. $20.26. Less than perfect, but hey ho. There are numbers there, and it will be a top tuck. Put on. Someone a long time ago mentioned that if you hold on to the areas you do not want to glue, you won't glue the wrong areas. So sometimes I think well enough and concentrate well enough to actually follow that advice. Maybe by sharing it with you, I can follow it. All right. There is 2026, our numbers. Whoa. Numbers. Done. Dictionary. We did dictionary. And we just did a tuck. And I can put on some of the DearJulieJulie digital. I'll tuck it in like so. All right. Let's do, where shall we do the belly band? How about here? And it'll slide through there. Unless I have something longer. I don't think I do. I have this digital. I could cut it to fit. This one. Nope, I like this as a belly band. And the purple brightens it up and pulls out the color. So let's do that. And I still have stickers to put on, so those we'll do at the end. What did I forget? You know what I forgot. to round the corners, but I'm not going to risk my corner punch at this moment. Put the glue on. All right, there is a belly band. And you can tuck this in just like so. Belly band is done. See how quickly you could make a belly band. We have the cover, we have the paper pad, we have folded pages, we have the Dear Julie Julie digitals, we have a pocket tuck, belly band, border tuck. We still need to make our tags. Yeah, and I have a napkin, I have a dictionary, putting on the stickers at the end, letters, numbers, and doilies. Done. All right, what is yet to come? I don't know what's going to go up there at all. Should we put on more dictionary somewhere? Book. That's appropriate. Let's tear this just a little bit. I didn't even choose the dictionary with the I knew it was a grouping of B pages, but that's fortuitous, isn't it? To have the word book there. I tried to do these as though they're on a shelf. I wonder if this was the pretend shelf. How should it go? Down the middle? Obviously, it needs to show the B for book. At the side. Crossways. I don't know. Oh, don't get stumped here, Lori. Stay with it. I'm just going to put it here, make a decision, and go with it. When you're making a quick gift, you can't ponder and dither for too long. You just have to use your item and move it along. There we go. It's down. And I imagine I'm going to decorate with some of the stickers on there. I think that'll look nice. Maybe a little ruffle with what's left of a napkin. Oh, let's look. What else? Oh yes, our tags. We need to make and add stickers. Should we make tags first, or should we do the stickers? And I was wondering what would go on here. What other items are there? I have these really neat stickers of tea. These book. A smaller version up top, and then something along here. Yep, I am going to do that. I'm hesitating, but there's no point in hesitating. Just put it on and it'll be fine. I like that, I think. What do you think? Shall it still be a tuck? Maybe. Ugh, this is glopping out. I'm finding a paper towel over here I can pull it off. Let's not put it upside down. I think it needs to go this way. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Make it work. Just like so. Without any fear. Or at least not much. Okay. It moved. Remain. The Fabri-Tac, so there's another plus of Fabri-Tac. It is not a water-based, so you can rub it away. I have a specialty eraser that I don't know where it is. It helps rub it away. It would be nice if I knew where it was. So if I wanted to, I could put that there and make this into like a label. All right. This is to color in, and I think it's so cute. Okay, let's put some stickers in and have dots too. Let's do these. They're fun and they're happy. We'll put a pink one here and a smaller turquoisey one here. Although everyone always says do sets of 3, do 3. So I'm going to do 3. The concept being odd numbers work best. Let's put some stickers, oops. Or shall we put a teacup here? Let's put a teacup. Where are the teacups? I have them. They're underneath. That's a teacup. Is there one that you like the best? I think this one. This was a $1.03 sticker, I believe. There. How's that? I think that's cute. And maybe a little sticker up here. Wow, I didn't do anything about this. Let's trim it a wee bit on this side without cutting the strings, because that would be annoying. Like really annoying. And yes, I'm going to use my art glitter glue, what's left in the bottom of, and hopefully it's going to come out. No. I have a pin that I keep close by to clear any clogs. If you haven't used it in a little while, it's more likely to clog. The reason I'm using the art glitter glue is because it's less gloppy than the Fabri-Tac, so there's less likelihood of me making a mistake. It holds really well and really quickly, and it has a precision tip. This tiny tip is so useful. All right, there. I'm determined I will fill up those bottles today, because it's silly to have them here and not use them. Just silly. All right. Oh, the sun is coming out. Can you tell they're brightened? How about we put a sticker on the corner of each page? There we go. I haven't put the roses in anywhere. And I printed them specifically because the coloring was so nice for this journal. Let's put it here. Like a pocket. Something can go in there. Yes, I like that. All right, Fabri-Tac. I have a new bottle of Fabri-Tac. I should get it out because it's not as slow as this one. But I need to use this one up. That is, oh, this is not going to make a very good pocket. It just slid. Let's see if we can put something in there so the glue doesn't stick. Might be okay. One nice thing about a cardstock page is you can be rough with it, even when you're making the journal. All right. Should we do that? I think that's so cute. Let's. There. And here we have, let's put some, I need to put the lid on this. It's been a little while now. Where's the lid? There's the lid. But I'm trying to work very quickly, and that's why I was not putting it on right away. In the middle and at the bottom. Do we have one exactly the same? We have one similar. There. I feel as though this page needs a little decorating. It's very, I mean, I chose it because it's darker. I wanted a contrast. I have some of these. That could be a belly band. What do you think? I have more. These are the ones that I cut off the pocket in the middle. Where did it go? I think it went on the top. There, probably went there, the page. So, yeah, let's do this. That's good. Sometimes a 12 by 12 scrapbook pages are a challenge for me. I don't work with them often enough to be able to adapt quickly. But other times, it's like my brain just figures things out quickly, which is lovely. All right, let's put this in here. I'm going to glue it top and bottom, and that will be another tuck. when I saw this scrapbook, these scrapbook pages, I knew right away that it was something I could do a fun item with, whether it's with a group that reads together, whether it was a gift for my daughter or daughter-in-law. Yeah, they both read a lot. Actually, so for Christmas, what we did was we gave them all some kind of reading material that corresponded what they were interested in. That was our Christmas gifts, books. So our daughter-in-law, she wanted the last year was Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility and Persuasion. This year, Lord of the Rings. That's what she wanted. So we got her the set of Lord of the Rings. All right, this is the back cover, obviously. Let's do a tuck. I just saw one that I liked. Here. Let's do this as a side tuck, so it'll go in like that. And I think I'm winding down. Have I used everything that I was to use? It's just the stickers and the last little bit of decorating, which, I mean, I have to walk away. I don't know if you like that, but for me, I have to walk away and come back a few hours later, and then I'm able to look at it with fresh eyes. So to finish the decorating, so I may do that. If you enjoyed this video, I hope it's not too long for you. Please, if you wouldn't mind pressing that like button, that helps others find what I'm doing, and I would really appreciate that. A little thumbs up. And if you have any suggestions for me or comments, I would love to interact with you in the comments below. It would be so fun to meet each other. I'm presuming I'm going to give this to a young woman. So I'm going to put literary lady in here. Is the back the right place to put it? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, let's put it in the back. Again, don't quibble, just move along. I hope you're well. I hope you're crafting, and that you find the joy in playing with paper, making things, being creative. And you know what? Perfection is not the goal. At least that's the way I look at this. The goal is to enjoy what you're doing. The goal is to improve, sure, if you want that to be your focus. But take some time away from the stresses of the world and enjoy yourself a little bit with your crafting. Let's check our list. The cover, the paper pad, 5+ folded pages, DearJulieJulie digitals, pocket and a tuck and a belly band and a border tab. The tags, that's what we didn't do. Oops. Okay, round, square, and rectangle. Yes, we have the napkin, dictionary, stickers, letters, numbers, and doilies. All right, here is an obvious tag, correct? Let's put a corner like this and make a little, so this is our rectangle tag. Here. Let's put that in there. Okay? think about how I'm going to, or which the digitals or the paper pad make a circle. Oh wait, I might have made a circle already. Yes, I did. The question is, can I find it? Here is a pocket for our rectangular tag. Boom. Circle. Find the circle, Lori. There it is. I cut a circle so you can see this, the top part, like 12 by 12, so I cut 4 inches off. And I'm going to make a smaller journal. The circle is from there. So, a circle tag, can it be tucked in somewhere? Let's do that. And a square. There was a square cut out. Our book is better. Remember that one? The book was better. Where did it go? That's not a square, but we can put that in there. Where is... I mean, I can cut a square out of something easily. There's a square. There's a square, but I'd like to find the statement. The book was better. Oh, there it is. The book was better. There is a square. Here's our other belly band. We're almost done. Did I make more than one belly band? I'm sure I did. Regardless, let's put it in here. Oh. Let's trim the corners, and we have our square with rounded corners. And that completes a journal. Boom. Okay. We have the stickers. We have the round, the square, and the rectangle tag. And we are finished. The mini challenge for February, Dear Julie Julie. It's a small journal that we could give away if we chose to. And I probably will, because it's fun. Take care. It's Lori at Positive Thanks Living. I enjoyed spending time with you. Happy Friday. Happy crafting for you too. And we'll see you on Tuesday. I make videos twice a week. Once on a Friday, once on a Tuesday, or once on Tuesday, once on a Friday. And right now in February, I'm working on an altered children's book, The Little Golden Book. And it's somewhere far away I can't reach for right now, but we'll see you on Tuesday. Have a happy weekend. Bye for now.